I'm here with Ian Seager, Managing Director of Seager Publishing, the organisers of the show. So Ian, why is now a good time to think about your training?
Not only is it a good time to think about the training, but personally, and I think now is absolutely the right time to start your training. There are some caveats to that, but let me explain. So first of all, we'll deal with the caveats. You need to do your research and make sure you want to be a pilot. If you're absolutely, completely convinced, well-researched, done it after you've taken a couple of cold showers, and you've decided that you really do want to be a pilot, then now is the great time to start training. Why? It's going to take you probably, best one in the world, maybe 2 years if you're really lucky, probably 3 to 5 years, certainly if you go the modular route and you split those modules up with that. So what you're trying to do is to predict the employment market for 2 or more likely 3 to 5 years' time. And that's a really tough prediction. And frankly, if anyone tells you they know what it's going to be, then they're talking steaming things. So don't believe them for that. But clearly things are going to change. I mean, this morning the news was out that BA said that their North Atlantic bookings are back at 100% of 2019 bookings, which is fantastic news now that the US is opening up. So things will change and things will get better. And so if in order to get your training, then there is no better time to start. If you wait until the industry is booming, until there's people running pilot shortages, which was this kind of case when we were talking back in 2019, then you've kind of missed the boat, because at that point you start the training again, you've still got another 3 to 5 years, and you spend those 3 to 5 years hoping that everything's still going to be okay when it finishes. And it might be, or it might not be. The fact is, nobody really knows. There are no guarantees. That's one of the things with this job. There are no guarantees. So you need, if you're absolutely determined, you've done your planning, you've got your flexibility stuff sorted out, you've made your contingency plans, then just get on and do it. That's the only, maybe you decide that you slow down the early stages of your training. The ground school. If you're doing sort of distance learning, you can spread that out over a while. If the kind of CPL part of it, you can. There are some big expensive chunks. You can delay that, like the instrument rating, the multi-engine instrument rating. You can delay that to the end if you want to, when you have a better chance of seeing how the world is faring. But certainly, now is the right time to do it. If you're going to wait till everything's hunky-dory and booming, then you could well have missed that boat.
Sounds to me like you're advocating the modular route there.
I think the modular route, there's a whole discussion about modular and integrated, and lots of reasons for and against both routes, really. And it's the beauty about a show like this is there's no one answer that suits everybody. If there was, you wouldn't need this show. You wouldn't need to go and do your research. You could say, how do I become a pilot? And you go, well, that's okay. You just do this, and that's the only route. It's not like that. There are lots of different pathways that you can take, and you need to take informed decisions. So the modular route certainly gives you more flexibility with that. So if you need an ICAO PPL to start your ground school, but your ground school can last a year or 2 years even. You have to be a little bit careful. There are some clocks that start running when you take exams, so you have to finish them, etc. And when you take your last exams, another clock that starts running before that runs out. But with all of that correct planning, you can certainly stretch or compress your training, shall we say, depending on how you think pilot recruitment is going, how you think the economy is going, and how you think your own personal pile of money is going as well.
Mm-hmm. So is there any particular solution to finding the money?
It's a really, really tough thing. I mean, we've been running these shows for almost 30 years now, and one of the constant questions is, how am I going to fund my training? And sadly, and it's wrong, most of the training is self-funded, and by far most of those people are getting loans either from the bank or mum and dad, or they're asking mum and dad to effectively guarantee loans. It's a real problem, and it's a hurdle that makes it very difficult for people who aren't in a position to be able to do that to get into the industry. And no, there are no easy solutions. Everybody wants a solution, but the bottom line is no one's willing to put their hand in the pocket and fund a solution.
Thank you, Ian, and hope you enjoyed the show.
Thank you very much.